Hey guys, I wanted to talk strategy today. In regards to objective games and mostly team deathmatch, what I wanted to discuss was map movement and map negotiation. What I mean by this is your movement, your teammates' movement, and the enemy's movement. What you want to be doing at all times is be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what's going on. I see so many people just running around really like a chicken with their head cut off with no rhyme or reason to where they're going or what they're doing. They don't pay attention to what's going on around them. They don't know if there's, enemies near them or where the enemies are coming from or where their enemies are at for that matter. What you want to do is you want to always be watching your radar. That's the biggest thing that you can do that'll give you an advantage and also help you to improve at this game. When you know what's going on the map, you know where you can go to be in a better position, or as I like to call them, a power position. Now that doesn't mean you need to, sit in one spot the whole game camping, head glitching some kind of crate, but you want to put cover between you and the enemy. Think about most of the times you get killed in a first-person shooter. You're probably running out in the open. You probably lose a fair gunfight where it's one-on-one with no cover. And, there's a lot of factors that play into that, like connection and host advantage and all that stuff. Excuse me. I'm battling a little bit of a sore throat, so I apologize. What you want to do is you want to be in a position where you know where the enemies are at, and then you can decipher where they're going to be coming from, aka a choke point. And from there, you can put yourself in a better position or a power position, a position of advantage, so that you have a better chance of winning every gunfight than the enemy does. It's pretty simple. What you want to do is always watch your radar and not just look for the red dots of the enemy, but also look for what your teammates are doing. Your teammates are like your own UAV that's always there, whether you have a UAV in the sky or not. They're going to give you, a clue as to where the enemies are at, where they're coming from, and where they're spawning. Once you know this information, like I said, you can decipher where you want to position yourself and where you're going to move and how you're going to negotiate the map in order to get to a position of advantage. You want to always be looking around and see where the enemies are at, and then you can get to a spot where you can pick them off and get your kill streaks and get your kills. If you're not sure where they're at, hit pause or start, and it'll bring up like the pause menu, and it'll show you a picture of the whole map. I do it a few times in this game, and it'll allow you to look where all of the enemies are, and then you can determine where you should move from there. Now, obviously, there's instances, one-offs to this, guys using cold-blooded and sneaking around and trying to flank. That's why you got to be aware of your surroundings and keep your head on a swivel, as they say. And if you have a headset, that helps because you can listen for footsteps. But what you want to do is make sure that you're always paying attention to what's going on around you, and more importantly, where the enemies are coming from. That way you know where you need to be. Once you can do this easily and effectively, you'll have a lot better time, and things will get a lot easier for you. I feel like a lot of people just run around, just playing the game, and that's fine. But if you're looking to get a little bit better, if you're looking for some easy tips, that's the easiest one. And I recommend running UAV. I do it quite often. It does help a ton. But it's a very underutilized kill streak because there's things like the AC-130, the chopper gun, or the nuke that are a lot more fun. So I was able to get my nuke just by playing it smart, moving around the map in a smart way, and positioning myself to win almost all my gunfights without having to have a fair fight. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you picked something up from this video. If you want to, you can leave a comment, rate, or subscribe if you already haven't, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Deuces.
Tactical Nuke ready for launch.
Calibrate azimuth, sweep angle, adjust elevation, scan. Tactical Nuke incoming! UAV spotted.